Barry, January, my young money, we did a bundle black. Mamma's your baby. Magia guess when I go. Mamma, did I go this your way? Mammy, I guess when I go. Look at what? Jacket now, look at. Oh, my God, get what you. One day, go with this, you. What you say, we are that's your way. See, I get Roddy, John Dolu. Did I didn't know that you know what to do? Oh, yeah, jump over. Yeah, no, you're not mama. Yes, I am. What am I saying? You know, yeah, you go there. Yes, I am. I'm on the other. I go back one day. You be war, yeah, you know, didn't know. You be war, yeah, you know, you be war. Mamma, where you now? Take it for what I want, yeah, you know, right there. I'm all for my get with you. South of it. Go for I won't get it. Yeah, no, didn't know. Louis, yeah, Louis, that's why I say, yeah, make it get over. Didn't know. Yeah, mom, where you now? Didn't know. Didn't know. I don't. Why don't go? Nothing I don't go, you know. Yes, yeah. Go what you out there. You be what? Didn't know. You be didn't know. You be what? Didn't know. Jump on the jump on the matter. That they are
Okay, good evening. Good evening. I want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. I welcome to this Sunday's edition. The analyst is going to be here. A lot is unfolding, and we're going to be having a conversation here very shortly. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. We say happy Sunday, first Sunday in the month of what? June. So welcome to the show, and we're going to be having a conversation here very shortly. If this is the first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome, and just do us a favor. Just share the live as well, so that you can invite someone at your company to join the conversation. Let's wrap up what the week from last week to this time. That's a lot, so we need to have a conversation. And he's back in the picture to what it means and how long he intends to go into this process. I'm Alfonso Zianso, and the analysts are going to be here very shortly. In fact, some are here already. And let's get a ball rolling this beautiful Sunday evening right here from the East Coast. Welcome to the show, and I'll be ushering in our senior contributor, Jerry Bacon, one of the liberal on this network. And of course, we intend not to sanction voices and not to leave no one behind. So let's get a ball rolling here this evening. So of course, we activate the line as well for you to follow. Okay, good evening, so welcome. I'm Alfonso Zianso of the Lpr-Public Radio 10 Lpr-Tv. It's good to have here this beautiful Sunday evening. Today is what, the 2nd of June? Yeah, wow. That is ongoing, so we're going to be having a conversation. He's back in the fries after the break or whatever it is. He has unleashed again. How long can he go? Well, the analysts will be here very shortly to scramble on some of the news making headline. Wait and see how some of the liberals on this network, how they defend, how they protect their own alligators. That's how he looks like in the Liberian politics. Radio hosts, commentators, pundits. Every day, each one take a defense line to protect one of their own. So there's something that we're used to it, and we won't have to get used to it. More of this to come. It happens here right on our own feet. So what's about Liberia? But we intend to keep the conversation fair, balanced, and proportionate without being judgmental. Good to have you here, my man, Julius, man, from the closing argument. Good to have you and all of the guys, everybody here, Sam, Grace, welcome. Let me go right here to my neighbor. He's based here in the ocean state of Potake. I call him the Boashian. Formerly sedition turned to Boashian. And he's so proud of that. And that's the good thing I like about him. Yeah, he was one of those who nurtured and raised George Weah. After George Weah didn't listen to him, he took a definitive position. He never waited until he got drawn into the ballot. Quickly, smart guy. He jumped out of it, and what he decided to do, gave his political support to Washington. They were one of those who make non-president boycott to visit the ocean state of Rhode Island. Gerald Bacon is standing by. Let me just bring him in, and of course, I know he's sending messages to his guys that will soon be coming here this evening. Gerald Bacon is a security analyst of the Lpr-Public Radio and Lpr-Tv, based right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. Are you a Boashian or Blackens or who? Who are you?
I'm an independent.
What pendant? Come on, you are not an independent. You don't sound like that. You don't sound like an independent. So do not support the new image of the independent. The only two independent voices on this network is announced the membership is we're doing well. Try to amend the strengths of the liberals here. Dr. Mali Jones, Ketanount is, and who was the next guy that came on board recently? Terry is still there hinking because Terry doesn't trust you guys again. But whatever you say, I am not the one to adjudicate you to say you can claim who you are. Is fine. But people want to listen to your talking point, and they will come to a conclusion that you are not the independent you thought to be. Joe, welcome. Happy Sunday. Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening. Good to be back. It's nice weather today. I'm so happy to be the first Sunday in the month. Unfortunately, that never went to church today.
Wow.
I pray in the home for God. So, I mean, everywhere you pray, God will answer your prayer. It doesn't matter. Even though we have to fellowship with people, but at least if you pray at home, you will see answer your prayer. So
you collected offering. You collected offering at home today.
All I have to do is send my tie. I don't have to pay offering. I send my tie in. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Asking whether you collected offering, you can cash out.
No.
And I can send it over to the old man.
That's
Road from Minneapolis. Good to have you here. Thank you. Your commitment to this network cannot be over-answered. Yeah, you ABS offerings. I can reach it out there, my man. Nothing wrong with that.
Thank you. Thank God I'm back, and I'm fired up. My belly's boarding. I got a lot of energy. You know, let me put some little grease on my head. Let it shine more. These are things. And so that's what it is.
Okay. Did I hear you saying
I'm fired up?
Did I hear you saying you were independent?
That's what I said.
No, I'm making sure.
Whatever you call me.
No,
I want the sedition. I want the sedition. I will always say, look,
my man, seditions are all sedition. You're all welcome in different.
No.
No, but okay. So, all right.
Oh, once a sedition, I left CDC. I left CDC. I left CDC a long time ago.
No, that's quite. I mean, you raised that concern, and I respect you.
So I decided to support Buckeye in 2014-15 election, and the first time he did not win. The second time he won the election. So I supported Buckeye, but I have not belonged to any political party. Since then, I left CDC. I have not identified myself with any political party.
You want to join my party?
Do I?
Do you want to join my party?
No. If I want to join my party, I don't need no special invitation. I can just walk to any political party and say I want to be the party, and I know how to welcome me.
Okay. All right. Again, happy Sunday. Good to have you here. Thank you for your commitment to all our viewers and listeners inside Liberia, right here in the USA, other parts of the world. Taking of your time this evening to join this conversation here is great. And we intend to activate this line as soon as possible so that you will get your side as well, because it's about Liberia. Do not listen to this liberal. Do not listen to this washing, because you're going to sound very short-lived in his positions on some of the things here. But from Sunday to Sunday, that's a lot. Let's recap some of the things in the past week here. And it's good that you are a security analyst, and in fact, you are a trained guy here. So this is where we're going to see how the independent mind you claim to be, and we're going to put it to test yet, and let's see whether you're going to pass that benchmark. Okay, so quickly here, what were some of your concerns with the government that you support? Some of the good, some of the bad. If you were to be given the opportunity and place a call to the president this evening, starts questioning, Mr. President, I support you, but the end of the week was a rough one. Certain things went X, Y directions. It doesn't meet my own standard of support to you. Let's draw the line here. Where will you find yourself?
Well, first of all, I'm getting feedback.
Yeah, I don't know why this. Yeah, go ahead. I'll be making an adjustment. I don't know why is it. Go ahead. Let's see. I would make a switch here and see. I don't know what happens, but
can you give me that?
Yeah. I hear you. The feedback still there, right?
Much better.
Okay.
Well, the last time you guys were not here, two of myself were here, and I said it, and I will say it again. it's about time for the
I will
president.
interrupt the audio a little bit, folks. Just give me a 1 second. Let me make a change in these cables to see
All right.
what. So you guys not you're not gonna hear me. Just wait a minute. Okay, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello. Uh-oh.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right, I'll make it worse. I'm not hearing it here. Just.
I can hear you.
I have spoiled the whole thing here. Hold on 1 second, guys. Just bear with me. Let me do some little bit housekeeping here. Yeah, because I'm not getting this audio here.
All right, let me pause.
1, 2, test. Boy. And guys, just bear with me. I know you will not be getting the audio. I might end up starting at square zero from what I see. Test the mic. Okay, I think it's okay. So let me just go right here to A, and we're gonna get this ball rolling. We're gonna get a ball rolling right now. I think the audio is okay, and it's all right. I think the audio is okay now. I'm hearing myself right here from folks. If you're hearing me, just give me a thumbs up. Are we good now, Mr. Bacon?
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, let's go. We'll manage it. Yeah. So, like I was saying, how you take us through the week? What were some of your concerns?
Well, there are a couple of things I want to emphasize on that. Was I said last week, it's about time the president take full control of the government.
I don't need you or something to tabata you guys.
I come in. Listen, you see, anything you do, you gotta do the genesis. You can't just go in the classroom and say student this is the founder. At least you gotta lay the foundation before you gotta. You are something
you are something prepare the test, and
you cannot just go and tell the student say yes, your founder. Or when you're preaching, you can't just go and say this is the founder of your summer. Or when you give me a speech, you can't just climb out the whole speech. You gotta lay the foundation. First, you gotta pull the bricks down. Then you gotta go to the window level. Then you gotta pull the roof before you start doing it interior decoration and all these things. So that's what it is. I just want to lay the foundation.
Okay,
so please be patient.
You
need a glass of water.
You can lay the cement bricks there. That's okay.
You need a glass of water.
Let me bring your patron, so because I know the Tabata is about to get over the roof.
You need a cold glass of water. I can give you a glass of water, so at least to cool down your temperature a little bit. That's what I want you to do.
Go right ahead.
Okay. See, Terry changed your hairstyle today. You see, he got a new haircut. You see it? You see the man look different. You see him?
I tell you, these guys, they don't like you. And you keep on you hear what he's telling you?
I tell you the man,
Mr. Background. After he wanted to spoil your show, then he now begin to divert to my hair business. You see, these guys.
I told you, Gerald Bacon and something to I don't even want to go there. You're saying it for yourself. Go ahead.
But with all seriousness, it's good to be back. I mean, we had a long week, and we thank God for to see another month. It's important. Some of us started the month last month, we didn't make it, and we are the chosen one. So we thank God for sparing our lives. So, but with us sincereness, I said it and I will say it again. It is about time the president takes some action to be in control of the government. What happened last week?
What happened? Tell us. I don't know.
No, I mean, I don't have to go the details.
Oh, no, but no, you can't do us that. In the interest of everybody didn't know what happened. You tell us why do you want the president to take step? Or you don't want to come.
When it comes to the rest issue, you know, it was a fiasco. It was a complete fiasco. The Minister of Commerce said something different, and the president said something different. The second thing that I want to say is the statement about Madame Famula did a superb job as the inaugural chair lady. You know, so these are concerns that I have. However, the Minister of Commerce, he was invited and he went there. They gave a different story. So Tuesday he's supposed to appear before the house of the lower house, you know, in regard to the house. So I'm waiting to see what he's going to say on Tuesday. Thirdly, I listened to Mr. Yeke Koluba today. That tomorrow, Tuesday.
Calling Representative Koluba,
I said, Mr. Koluba. Okay, Representative Koluba. I call him Mr. Koluba. I give him respect, Mr. Koluba.
Wilton, check your email or send the link. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So I listened to Mr. Koluba today, and as a representative, it was, I mean, it doesn't represent why he represented the house. As a representative, I know that sometimes we get emotional or he get emotional, but he have to tone it down. And one of the things I listened to him, he said was he have not gotten his stopping. On Tuesday, when he didn't get his stopping, he's going to disrupt the session because he had not gotten his stopping. I don't think it's fair to the Liberian people. When the Liberian people want to carry all the Liberian people duty, what they are being elected for, you can't go there and preconceived the ideas and you say you're going to disrupt the people because you are not got.
I am about to interrupt you because
I just gave you some he asked me a question what happened last week, and that's my observation. I just give you my observation. So you can't tell me what to say and what not to say.
I agree with you. What I'm saying, I want to usher in, you know,
the independent voices have to usher in. So you got that why he's trying to interrupt you because somebody coming.
Terry understands the language that I'm speaking. You know, when USA goes into a coalition, when USA speaks, you know they're closer ally. You know more than I do. Then Great Britain come in. I'm not talking about France. Then they are second motion. So when you here come to proclaim to be an independent, you are not. The real independent is in town. That's all I mean, just bringing the independent guy here. So we are the only independent. Dr. Marlis Jones. This is where the interruption is coming in. Dr. Jones, good evening. It's good to have you here.
Oh, thank you very much, CEO.
Yeah, I think it's good to be like that. People of the same type at the same level, people with the same political ideology will put them in the same column. So, Terry,
so you put me and Mr. Bacon.
All of your coordinators, y'all got to wear my room today, so that's all right. You know, that's what it is.
That one makes us to be who we are. Whatever you think about it. But thank you. Okay, Dr. Jones. Yeah. So let's get a final point. Then I'll go to Terry. Jones, is that you done with? I'm not Jones. Mr. Bacon, you done with your?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, so far.
Okay, good. So before I go, let me remind you: you as a security analyst, are you not concerned with the army personnel who report we are hearing said he whatever committed suicide? Is it not? You forgot about it? You forgot about that?
I was going to come to it. That will be my second thought. I think I had an issue on that. So let's go ahead.
I don't want to remind you since you have it on your docket.
No. I got it. It's on my mind.
Okay, we'll come.
I get it right here.
Okay, I'm not saying this, so I'm not sure whether you get it there or you decided to.
No, I can do that. Here's the thing we have to think about.
Hold on. We'll come to it. Mr. Collins.
Yes, sir.
Good to have you here again. Gerald back on this evening clearly shows that he and the liberals really have some beef for you because of your objectivity. They see you that you, in as much you support President Boyka, but you're taking some critical point. They don't like it. They are showing it behind the scene, and they will show it in public. You have yourself to judge. Good evening, happy Sunday. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. And you guys too, to the panel, Mr. Bacon, Dr. Male, and to the chief himself, CEO. We want a happy Sunday to all you guys.
And of course, our many followers.
Yes, the many followers too, especially Breakable, because he's going to come. I'm sure he's going to come.
Breakable, he's another question. Okay, so okay, let's hear you, Terry. Too much been going on Sunday to Sunday. Where are we? Or what are you so far as a guy who support this president? Where are they falling short? What are some of the good things that they can dwell on to do more than maybe anticipated?
Well, I think President Boga is listening. As I heard today, he boarded the Kenya Airways and it was all on Spoon talk. Spoon had it going. So it means that he's not taking the private jet role. And, the atmosphere in Liberia is quiet. I don't hear no media people talking about that much. That is employing for the president to ride the Kenya Airways, with other passengers. It shows that he's trying to cut down, which is a good approach. I hope he continues that path. That would be very good for us and all of that. And also my concerns have to do with, the aspect of the Miata formula that Mr. Bacon just said. The Miata formula that he extended gratitude to for the program that nearly almost caused his death, and that to me, I wanted to use the word discouraged, but I will use the word disappointed. I'm disappointed in in that statement coming from the executive mansion, from the president, extending gratitude to Miata family without investigation. I thought there would have been investigation, given the fact that it had been alleged that funds was mismanaged during the time of the inauguration. I thought she would have gone through some level of investigation before making the statement of gratitude. So these are my concerns, I thought. And also, I think President Boka too is making some rounds, leaving the country to go to South Korea to discuss and negotiate on behalf of the Liberian people. I think that's a good approach. But the aspect of Yeke Koluba, obviously we all know what Yeke Koluba stands for. Yeke Koluba may have political ambition, but all the things that he has been saying today just sounds very, very absurd, ridiculous. It sounds, it sounds like somebody who making noise, because he was not talking about Yombi Kanga Lawrence. He's talking about Dara Didon Tracy. He's talking about Yombi Kanga Lawrence boyfriend. You can see there's a complete disorder in his position, like he's discouraged. His expression showed to me that what he really anticipated to see President Boka feeling is turning against him, because all the things he was talking about was disjointed. He was not definite. He was not dealing with the issues. He was completely disorganized. 1 minute he's talking about how President Boka, 22 million on the road, blah blah blah. I listened to the public work ministers. The public work minister clearly stated that
we're going to get to the details. Just outline your talking point. Just outline your talking.
Sure, yeah.
These are things. Okay. So let's see whether we can get some relief after listening to the two liberals.
Tabata.
Let's see whether we can get some other independent folks that are listening, looking for objectivity and stuff. Dr. Mala Jones.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. Welcome to the show. And how are you doing today?
Well, I'm doing great. And I see a lot of new look.
Oh,
It seems to be the
That
coalition.
could be a sign of redemption gradually they're coming over, but we understand it's going to take a time. So,
Yeah, I think it's a sign of redemption leaning towards the from the crossroad towards the independent, and which of course is a very, very good news.
yeah.
But on a very serious note, Mr. Collins stressed one important thing at the last time, which continued to linger in my mind, when he called for the investigation of this soldier that just died mysteriously. It's not just the death of the soldiers, but the message it brings. The mysterious killing happened in Georgia government. We see it's happening again, and we don't even see the information minister saying or the police director saying, look, we will have to go into this thing. Even the last time Collins said that all the mysterious killing and inconclusive thing that happened on Georgia, like disappearing of people and other things, we thought by this time His Excellency Police Department would have reviewed some of these cases, even though review them, and finally come to a conclusion that indeed what happened in our courts on Georgia with the death of these children, the missing children, all the kind of people, the disappearing, all the people, I mean, justice took a course to put the matter to rest. But today, people are still lingering in their mind. Will this ever happen? Because we don't see the police director talking about anything like this. We don't see the justice minister talking about anything like this. We don't even see His Excellency, Liberian people lives are very precious. So this is where Collins came from, and I want to support him 100% on these things, because it's like, one thing I like about Liberia scenario, one, it did not happen to you, you can't know the magnitude until it happened to you. So we'll go into the details and still call on the police director. Even though he's doing something good, the boots, putting the boots around, okay. But this is human life. Liberian lives are precious. And we need some attention to these things.
Okay, there you have it, folks. The analysts are here. The conversation is about to get underway. Welcome to the show. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Let us say a big welcome to our man G1A, is based in my own district, in the Boakland Basin district. So that is Grandville County. Many of you people are making specific reference because he tells us where he's watching and even following us. Thank you so much. I think you need to send your number to my inbox. This is a clear indication people are concerned. People want to know the message is getting across. And so this is why when we come to these programs, we want to have a conversation where voices will be heard. Even the onliners, the viewers themselves, interchange. Hey, Fatuma, good evening. To welcome all of you people. There are people we're trying to get on our side. So all of you watching this event is so much important, and we do appreciate your time for being here. Okay, guys, let's get to the conversation. To get back on, you started with your tabata. Let's get to the in-depth of it. What are you saying? But I'm concerned about this soldier. The death of the soldier has been reported by the national government. That's very weird. That's very strange. I think there is a break in communication, the manner in which government making this sort of pronouncement, explaining it requires more questions than answer. And I think, and this is what I want to hold Mr. Jerry back on, who is a security analyst, to put it into context for us. if it is real as they are interpreting it. Because if it happens last year, we frown on it, we must frown on it today. This clearly shows a doubt. I'm wondering now, I could be wrong. That's my own personal assessment. I don't think this Minister of National Defense currently uh, can manage the affairs of the armed forces of Liberia. Because if there's anything, that's where the initial investigation to come from the central government, the national government, to put this out here. I never imagined seeing this sort of things happening before. We will wait and see. Mr. Bacon, let's start with that because it's the same controversial, and I don't want my own government to be caught in the middle of things. Walton Kettle is a pro-GOL, announced more or less a wing of the independent. So we are trying to get the voices out here. Mr. Kettle, good evening. Joining us from the Constitution State of Connecticut. Good evening.
Good evening, brother. So, and good evening to the rest of the panelists. It's an honor being here with great minds.
Okay, good. So, everybody finished rolling out what the thing they're going to be saying. Maybe you want to set up, but I can jump. I know you are equipped. Is there anything special during the course of the week to get us here? Oh my goodness, hell break loose.
Deliverance, yeah.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I see what I suspected this. I saw this coming because I saw Jerry Barker show up going all in the air texting, "Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?" Your message has resonated. See the liberal progressive. Jesus Christ. What are you doing here this Sunday?
I said, CEO, don't put me in trouble. You got to take me from this spot.
So to deal with this
so
independent undercover sedition, I'm here to deal with him tonight.
Okay, so since you want to start running more, we even welcome you here. You left the other day, drank the children, all their juices, and you're okay now. You not come back. I gotta put you to your man. I'm sorry to say. Let me say, all of people of the three group move together. You and your Jerry Barker and Terry Collins, you're staying in your own lane. Okay, good evening, welcome.
Good, Mr. Soul. Thank you. Wonderful day. Thank God we're here. Thank God. Thank God for the mercy.
Yeah, it is my independent guy raised a concern. I must listen to him. That's what Allah is all about. He feels very.
I'm not saying that he's not independent. I'm just saying he's undercover sedition independent or independent undercover sedition. That's all it is.
Okay. All right. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Mr. Soul. I mean,
I'm coming to you. Don't worry.
All right, okay.
You're not going to see the show here. I'm going to my friend here who much closer to me. I can't run from here and go California. Before I get there, I will be there. I'm talking about a guy who next to me here at Walton Kettle. Okay, so Kettle, let's look at Sunday to Sunday.
But there are a lot of stuff, a lot of issues that have been trending in our country over the past week. One of the things that caught my attention is the death of the military personnel, the guy who allegedly was accused of being part of the group that put the women, the soldier wives on the streets and all that. And he died mysteriously. Up to now, nobody knows. I mean, we just hearing he committed suicide. So that one of the things that caught my attention. Are they trying to silence critical voices? Are they trying to crack down on people who are, vocal when it comes to our political, sojourn? I don't know. But that one of the things that really caught my attention last week so far.
Okay, so we are on the same expressway. Let's make it fair, balanced, and proportionate. The liberal progressive is here, who I can literally say is one of the die-hard, or we can call him nicknamed the chief Washingtons of this network. The liberal, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Soul.
Okay, so
thank you for having me.
All right, let's hear you. You listen to Kettle, maybe Dr. Jones, the Independent, he spoke already, your guy, two of your guys, they spoke already, so let's hear you. Today is Sunday. What are you considering? So what do you think during the end of the week? Let's see if you are objective here this event. What do you think needs to be fixed in that country, or what do you think, what is it good your president is doing?
My observation, Mr. So, is that same type of behavior we exhibited here in this diaspora, as Liberian diaspora, in these section, county organization, it's the same thing we carry back home. Among us, no one want to be stupid. Every one of us want to be a PhD holder and the most smart guy in the room. And this is not how, even in a group setting, if you expect the group to move forward, someone have to play, and I'm not saying you have to be stupid, but someone gonna have to play fiddle to somebody else. We cannot all be the same. We cannot all know everything. And when people make mistakes, I think as Liberian, we have to try to get out of these things. So you make a mistake, let's capitalize on that mistake. We take this politics so much way deeper than anything else Liberia. But then again, when I was growing up, the fact that we were border right there at the border in Ivory Coast, they always call the Ivorian always refer to us as lawyer, whether you got law degree or not, because of our big mouths. And Mr. So, these are some of the things that are going to affect us more because we're not even willing. You have the experience. If I make mistake, for example, you have the experience in certain area. If I get in that area and make a mistake, to say, okay, Mr. To, this is how it's supposed to be done. Can we try help you? Nobody offer help. What would they would try to do is to ridicule me and try to say they can do it better than me. And this is something that's going to affect us more and more. Another thing that I have on my plate, Mr. So, is the leadership of the Unity Party. The chairman and the secretary general. Must it come to a disgraceful end before you throw in the towel? You, Dr. Tappet, a clergyman, you stand before people every day telling them, preaching to them how to behave in the society, preaching to them the good word of the gospel of God, of Jesus Christ. You're asking people to follow Jesus Christ. On the pulpit, you present yourself to be straightforward. But yet still, when it comes to this little stuff, you are unable as a God-fearing person to say, okay, I got this one position, this one, let's put somebody else in it. And even if you think you want to guide the process as an old chairperson, you can still have somebody and say, this is how it's done, let's carry on. That way people don't look at you as being power greedy. But look how disgraceful their any is going to be. Most likely, they're going to resign. They're not going to stay there. But it's just a disgraceful thing. And one last thing I want to say on this, Mr. So. These are people, Dr. Tappe, he is yet to report on the money given to him or whatever its situation is. Nothing. We have no report. And I understand President Baka, I read an article where he's now praising my own sister, Mianta family. Perhaps Madam Family have given Dr. Baka, he's doctor to me now, Dr. Baka, a report, secret report that we have no clue of. But up to this point, we still don't know exactly what happened with the issue of the inauguration fund. But yet still, in the paper that I read, Dr. Baka is referring to her as being somebody who is straightforward. And these are things when you do, you tend to poke your finger in the eyes of the opposition, and they will capitalize on it. I don't know where the mistakes are coming from. So, Mr. So, we have a lot to talk about tonight from my end. And one last thing I will ask you, and I'll make it public here. My second to the last child, a daughter, is graduating tomorrow, and I won't be able to be on the air at all. And I was hoping that Terry or any one of the gentlemen can sit in for me tomorrow, or even you yourself.
Why you can't ask me? Are you afraid? Why you can't ask me to sit in?
I don't want to let you sit in. You will take. Dr. Mane, second, I don't call it independent, undercover independent sedition, please. I'm not. You're not. I think you're co-host, but I think when we're talking straight to the other gentleman. So, Mister, so anybody can host if you want to do it. That will be fine with me. Just don't take control of it. Make sure every 5 minutes you announce my name. Every 5 minutes my name is announced to let people
The
know.
liberal.
My show. That's all I want you to do.
Every 5 minutes, every 5 minutes you announce your name.
But
Yes.
Gabriel, what happened to your co-host? He right here.
Jared Baba.
Oh, Jared Baba, he parked in the garage or what?
Oh, now you put in the garage. Okay, well, what a great conversation. We want to try to get in all here, but let's do one quick international here because we said no one should be left behind in the news. And the peaceful sub-region is also a peaceful environment in our country. This guy, Faye, the new president of Senegal, making rounds, going to Burkina Faso, Mali. According to France 24, he seems to be. I'm not know that's. I'm not sure whether it's the new emergence of the late Sankara. He's really pushing here and there, and I think he's making some point because the exit of Mali and Burkina Faso within the sub-regions body ECOWAS, that is a concern. It fracture the organizations as well. This young guy here, we can use one minute each, and then we'll go back to homeland to discuss other this issue here. Is he cutting through the gates? Is he breaking the gap here, to be the new kid on the block in the presidential block in the West region there in within the ECOWAS or Africa as a whole? The man just came from jail 10 days and he became president. That's it's historic. Keto, let's hear you. A minute, 30 second, whatever it is, if you have any thoughts. This guy, he visited Ghana the other day. He went to Cote d'Ivoire, going to these places here, trying to put the breaking pieces together. Good initiative.
I mean, these are young people. I mean, the guy is very young, and I think West Africa is more or less gravitating towards the youth population, the youthful population, and I mean, the old people are feeling away because the ideas have never brought us any good but bad. And so I see this young man who is energized. You know, he has the tenacity. He's trying to mobilize other African young people, whether president or whoever, to come to the fold and push on or forge forward the agenda of West Africa. I think he's very vibrant. I think he's doing well. I think he needs support from his people in West Africa. We have to promote our young people, especially the ones who, the ones that we believe have the, the integrity, the innovation and all that to move West Africa and Africa forward. I think we should start tapping into them. Our old people failed us for so long, and we do not need to hang on any kind of draconian age old politician that
Oh,
will
okay.
come and bring us 1940, 1930 history.
Who specifically all politician
Well,
who are you?
who the cap fit, let them wear it, and I'm not gonna miss my words. I know somebody gonna fire back, but it is what it is. We want people who energize. We want people who can run the marathon. We don't want somebody who will sit in a wheelchair to be dragged around in airports. We want somebody who, on the first day, they can start rolling the ball and kicking and making the case for other people. And I think the guy from Senegal is doing just that.
Okay, all right, Mr. Neemland, welcome in the house of LPR and the rest of the folks. That's his talking point. We're going to pivot very shortly. Dr. Jones,
Yeah.
change is something people do not really accustomed to. They want it, but how it should be done and how to embrace it. Those are the challenges that we all are faced in our own natural being. Natural people as a human being, I want change, but how to get it done. This guy, Faye, the president of Senegal, we see his its progression in terms of reaching out to leaders in the southwest region, concerned of two major actors leaving the ECOWAS chambers. He don't see it to be a good thing, and he has to zest and moving from country to country. He's now in visiting Burkina Faso and Mali to meet with these leaders. Great initiative.
Well, it is a good initiative, but I just want to push back on Mr. Wilton Carter, because it's like we just had, he said, now the young people are gravitating toward politics, and probably the old people have filled the generation. But I just want to remind our panelists, Wilton Carter, that we just had one young man fading away, and he was ridiculously terrible. And if we should use him as a yardstick, then it seems to be we need the angels to come down now to really help the African population. You see, because the old people are on record to stay in power for life. The young people are on record not to stay in power for life, but to wreak and create more problems for the young generation. So probably we need an angel coming down now in between there to occupy the space. So neither one of them is even good. However, back to the issue of what we just talked about, the UN report of 2022.
We'll come to that, Dr. Malis. I just want to get all of them minute take on this Senegal president visit.
Oh, the Senegal president thing. Yeah, I said it's a good initiative, but it's a shaking ground.
Shaking ground.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just for your piece on that, we'll come to the details. Let's go to the Liberal. The Liberal, are you willing to accommodate President Faye trip if he were to call on you? Which, of course, he's not going to call you anyway.
Mr. So, it's very sad. This is a gentleman, very smart gentleman. But I think when Thomas Sankara was in that position, it was not hate towards the West, but to enlighten the Western leaders of how his people needed to improve themselves. He did not turn the West into a hate subject or object. In whatever he was doing, he wanted to be truthful. But he was doing it with respect to the West, not to go for handout, but at the same time, making them partners in whatever it is that he wanted to resolve in his country. This young man is trying to exercise the West. You can't even feed yourself in West Africa. You don't got 5 cents to eat. Nothing you get your grow over there to say you're able to feed yourself. That the fish market in Senegal will feed you. Look at Mali. Look at Niger. Look at Burkina Faso. All dusted land. With all of these mineral resources you have, unless you're going to have to kill everybody in those countries, the corrupt behavior will not allow them to survive, neither will the corrupt behavior allow them to prosper. You need these people. They have the machinery. You need the West. They have the technical know-how. Unless you're going to say, I'm going back to 1800 in a village. If you do like that in West Africa, then we will try, because that's something we all know about. We all know the community of the 1800, how the people survived. They were not dependent on the West, but they survived. If you want to go back to that route, then I think you'll be okay. But you can't say, I'm speaking French, but I don't want to deal with French country. I'm speaking English, I don't want to deal with English people. You don't even speak you don't have your own language. You have no control over your own activities in your own country. And you want to tell me you want to exercise people and think you're going to be successful? No. The date of Julius Nyerere, the date of Nkrumah, the date of William V.S. Tubman. Those were people that were trying to build something.
So
now we're here.
You want to take us back? You want to take us to those days? Do you want to take us to those days?
No, he does. He's trying to take us back there.
Okay, I'm going to leave you with two of your partners in progress. Let's see whether they will align with your argument at this event. Terry, that's a guy. That's a guy, right?
Yeah, actually, who man? The guy, the Senegalese?
No, the liberal. I said that you listen to your guy, right?
Oh yeah, liberal got a point. But like I said before, on the same platform, that young man taking over, got to give him time to see what he would do. But I'm not sure that guy would really be able to deliver accordingly or adequately. Because in my opinion, African leaders that are younger do not really do well. All right. So let's see what he's going to accomplish. But we must also understand that there's a mentality of the West, taking the resources of the African nations have become a popular thing in West Africa. So as a result, most West African country, Francophone country, they are not willing to allow the West to continue to exploit their resources, and they stand at a loss. In as much as Africa is very corrupt, Africans have really not been able to benefit from their own natural resources. People come with all kinds of World Bank thing, IF, how you call it? IMF bank come. They put all kind of strategy into place that will seem good, but in the final analysis, your country don't benefit. You only stand at a loss and stand at a gap where you end up owing them continuously. Thereby, they use that as a hook to keep pulling you. And African leaders are waking up to that scenario. They're not going to accept that, So they're trying to see how well they can galvanize connections in West Africa and other parts of African nations to see how well they can fare well. But the African mentality for leadership is centered around greed. And with the absence of the West, I doubt that we'll be able to thrive. Okay. So one way or the other, I'm not wholly and solely going in line with Labour. I want to be balanced. Yeah. Because I don't believe.
This is the word I'm looking for from you. Do not go with the Liberal. You want to be balanced and objective. Terry, we're on board. Okay, so I just want you to stick to those points. You are just perfectly situated. Don't go in line with the Liberal. Go ahead.
So those who talking about my haircut and all the kind of thing, I've been keeping that hair for 2 years now. So if I cut it because of the reason why I cut it, but it doesn't mean that anything. Because listen, I'm not a traditional guy. I believe in tradition and I love tradition. I respect all traditions, but I'm not a traditional guy. Because I respect all tradition, I can become anything at any time. So So, but thank you guys for appreciating the haircut. I see some people writing stuff. Thank you guys. I didn't expect that you guys would like the haircut.
One of mine, you don't usually worry about people's stuff. But anyway, that's part of the thing here. Okay, catch up my better. So,
when they got that CDC get you a new light, they're not taking from the darkness. Oh my goodness. Jesus.
They're putting on salary now.
Yeah, I tell you, CDC giving you money now. Oh, okay, we see.
And you told me Liberty Party, where it is saying something too?
Mr. So, I'm a member of Liberty Party USA. That's all it is.
Okay. Mr. Barcom.
Yes, sir.
Is this young guy, how long can John stay in the army? Is it because of a new... Yeah, we see these people. We have seen it over and over. Politicians quickly rise like a yeast to try to do like a baking, to bake something and they put it there. Yes, here, going up there in the next thing. Doing these things here as well, are they making themselves vulnerable to the West? Terrorists did strike a point here. This is what the West do not like. They don't like people to stand up to them, people who were exposed or people who will be like a challenger. You saw this, those so-called, we will pay back your money, your debt, and all of those kind of things. When they see that, that is, they see like, this guy is either maybe the socialist or the communist China is trying to take control here. Is he running ahead of his shadow?
And history is there to serve. But let me just say something to my late brother here, or younger brother. I will not call him my late brother, from Connecticut. See, we forget history. They get a proverb, in Liberia. The child that watches his hand, he will older folks. People, history teaches us. That's why we have books, reference, when we're making research, because we go back to the whole old histories and be able to get a new facts today. So we progress. When it comes to the young man in Senegal, he's a progressive young man, came to the US, get educated, went back home, got into politics. He was incarcerated. From there, he became president. Let us go back. Like my brother said, what happened to Tarbert? Tarbert, what, 49 years old or 50 years old, 50-some years or 40-some years old when he became president of the Republic of Liberia. And he saw the future of Liberia. And not only in Liberia. And he said to the West, he was the person who supported Israel. Well, not Israel, but yeah. What happened to him? What happened to Nkrumah, young fellow, right here in Boston, who went to college, went home, the same ideas? What happened to him? I mean, the list can go on. And in conclusion, I don't want to go waste our time. No, we got other things to talk because we want to deal with our internal issue. Go and listen to Wilson Woodrow address when he became president. Go and listen to it. He said, build Europe and get Africa aid. And that scenario is still going on today in the United States. Go listen to his speech, inaugural speech. After World War II. Come on, 1 second. After World War II. He said, Europe could have been built spontaneously without of Africa. Most of African countries were not independent. But he said, get aid to Africa. So that mentality is still with the West. That the aid will always be given to Africa, even though we don't manage our own resources. Are we custodian of our own resources? Are we willing, our gold and diamond, willing to be able to sustain ourselves? Are we custodian of our own resources? So these are the issues we have to start thinking. Rather than say, oh, the old folks, the new person that are gravitating to the young people. That's great. But there's a historical perspective. What happened?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, let's take this break. There's a first program coming soon. Yeah.
Before you go on the break, I just wanted to make a little bit of point here. Because Mr. Bachon mentioned me. So can I?
Well, you can mention people. Why when people mention you can get.
No. The reason I want to make some clarity here because he bringing on.
Okay, when we come back, we'll come back. We'll do that. Let's take a quick hit and we'll be right back. Welcome to the show.
Life is a journey, and as you travel down the line, you may remember something, the joy and tragedy in a story manner.
I'd like to remember that one point of my life, growing up was very, very difficult for me as a child.
The Liberia Public Radio gives you the opportunity in a live interview to express your past. In this program, I Remembered.
I remember, and I will never forget my day of salvation. And I remember growing up as a child, when I lost my dad, it was a very terrible time dealing with.
Join Benjamin Tibet, our international correspondent, on +225 07 4770 9404, +225 0505 675438. I remembered the podium where your voice is heard.
Okay, that's coming soon from our Abidjan chief, Benjamin Tibet. That will be it will be a lifetime story. I remember, whether it's good or bad, there are things that we remember, we record it as a history, life experiences, and we live with it until we reach to the day end. These are people you're going to be hearing from real lifetime people, experiences, Ivorians, non-Ivorians, Liberians, people of diverse backgrounds. You'll be hearing them. This is a program coming soon on LP with our Abidjan Bureau Chief, Benj Tigbe. Okay, get to your point quickly, Keto, so we'll start rolling out.
Yeah, so just to make something clear, Mr. Bacon mentioned what happened to those young people who are not, and we say what happened to them, they were shot, their life was cut short because they probably went against the West, and the West felt that it was not, it was disrespectful, and they got rid of them, according to what he's tried to insinuate. But I'm telling you, we are in a different dispensation. We are in a place where the young people are taking the bull by the horn. Africa has been played for a very long time. The people take our natural resources, they give us nothing, like you said, they give us handout and think they're doing good for us. They take our natural resources and give us ration, and at the end of the day, we get nothing nothing in return to even develop our own nation. When you have progressive young people coming up to stand up against them, I don't think anybody now would stand against those young people that are saying Africa should be developed, West Africa should be developed, Liberia should be developed, Senegal should be developed, and other African, Burkina Faso should be developed, Niger should be developed. I think it's right. If France can have current 24/7 and Niger supplying France with uranium, why is it Niger that does not have current? So a president who will come, a young man, and then we say the old people say because this happened in 1970 or 1980, so it will be a repeat. No. We should stand up against them. You people should be proud of the young people standing against those people that killed our young leaders because they were progressive, they were innovative, and they didn't like that. They killed them. Now you should be standing up and backing the young people who are leaders today and saying, yeah, go for it. Because tomorrow, your grandchildren will have a better West Africa.
Okay, all right, guys, let's have a conversation. Okay, this was her, but he's our representative. We have the type here, Marjorie Great, what her name said, this lady from Atlanta, Georgia. And you have people the type of Matt Gates, and all of them, they are here. He's back in the picture. He went missing. It was what he was on a break. He was on a health thing, whatever it is. He's back in different form, in different shirt. You wouldn't usually do this, but again, this is LPL. We keep it fair, balanced, and proportional. We're going to get a little script of it, and then we're going to have a conversation right here. Baz represented Yeke Koluba of District number 10 in a major press conference in the nation's capital of Liberia, Monrovia today. Let's listen to it.
When the motorcycle were escorting Joseph Walker to Broad Street, 2 on the motorcycle fell down and 1 died on the scene. Well, because they believe and the better days that we thought about were on its way. But today, we see that our people have been harassed. The police officer we see today putting checkpoint. We don't see them after 9 o'clock. When our people being harassed, their phone being taken away. You can't walk on Broad Street after 9 o'clock. You'll be harassed. But when day break, Joseph Walker put his police people in the street. I don't even have police people in the street until I came back to this country day before yesterday. Everywhere you pass, the police officers. Where are those officers?
So the issue here from Samuel Doe, AFL, Helen Johnson, Sally Police, George Weah Police, Joseph Boyka for his police industry. A professional institutions is being personalized is being linked as the ownership of a certain president who is the chief administrator of the country, as a matter of fact, but that's not it. The police should be an independent institution, but I'm not sure whether this narrative sometimes in the process of enforcing the law.
Is it me or Mr. So is breaking up?
Yeah, his microphone is not. I think it's away from his mouth also. The microphone.
You need help?
What are you doing there? You're trying to mess down with myself?
Now we can hear you, but your microphone, it seems like you go a little bit away from your mouth.
That's why.
For some reason, the cable was giving stuff here. Yeah, okay, but am I audible now?
Yes, right.
Okay. No, I think it has become a tradition. People always, take these professional institutions as the owner of a sitting president. And so if it doesn't go their way, it becomes Helen Johnson selling police, we saw George Weah police. Now we are hearing from the sitting representative, Joseph Boyka police. I'm not sure what I are in alignment with that, but this is what we have to deal with. Okay, guys, we can talk about that. But one of the most important thing here, this alleged report from GOL, this military person that we are hearing committed suicide. The explanation provided by the government. Let's have a conversation here. I did hear them reporting that he shot himself 6 times. Is that what you heard, Terry, as well?
Well, yeah, something like that.
Don't tell me something like that. Don't say that. Let me ask Jerry back on. Jerry back on.
I can't recall how many times he shot himself, but it began a pattern.
The liberal. No, hold on. The liberal.
Yeah.
Is that what you heard? The officer shot himself 6 times in the head?
What difference does it make? He's dead, isn't he?
Very good. This is unbelievable. Wow. What? It's like Hillary Clinton's at the Benghazi hearing. What difference? What's on Keta? Do you agree with the liberal?
Yeah, I heard he shot himself 6 times in the head. I think it's impossible.
For automatic gun, and a gun is on automatic, is it not possible that one bullet can, one trigger can hit more than 6 times? Mr. Bacon maybe can give us clarity on that one.
No, how can he give a clarity? You already took us out, so don't say
No, listen. You see, you're always making prejudgment. When you ask questions, not because the way the person answered the question, then you begin to take another position. I said, I do not know how many times he shot himself. I didn't say it did not happen. I said, I did not know how many times he shot himself. That's what I said. And I said, if that is the case, then it began a pattern. Then he said, okay, pause. So I said, okay, because I wanted to give you the genesis. What I said, it began a pattern.
No, we're going to come to that details. Terry,
I just wanted to know. Yeah, he didn't answer. Mr. Bacon, I just wanted to know something, right? Because you guys play with gun. If a guy press the trigger and the gun is on automatic, right? Won't it fire more than one bullet at a time?
No, once you put that gun to your head and fire one time, you're dead. There's no way you can put that trigger again.
Oh, okay. So if it's on automatic, for example, the gun is on automatic.
One time, whether it's on automatic, once you punch it one time, it will not be shooting again because your hand that's supposed to touch the trigger, it's already been paralyzed. So it's gonna automatically go back there.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
So do you agree with it doesn't matter? What that's what the liberal said. Dr. Jones.
Yeah.
Do you think the government explained herself to that position adequately as an information expert?
Well, you see, it was good that His Excellency, former President George Weah faded out. You see, he left a reservoir of things that we can always make reference to. Because these are some of the things that happened in George Weah government. I don't know whether there was this shooting of somebody, but mysterious death of someone. So what I expected for the government to have done which I would have even expect George Weah, if you're in power, to still do, is to carry on a forensic examination of this issue, backed by thorough investigation. If it means we'll call people from outside, because people are dying mysteriously. How can an elderly man being in the army for so long just commit suicide? You know, it baffles me a lot. So I would want a comprehensive, I don't know where it came from. They say he committed suicide. I don't know what report said that. You see, I don't know whether it's a speculation.
Right.
But I think we need to have a comprehensive report, forensic report for that matter. And I think Mr. Bago knows what I'm talking about. This is a mysterious death. We can't just sweep it under the rug just like that. You see, these things happened before in another form under President Weah, and we said it was part and parcel of those long laundry list of things that the government was headed in a wrong direction. You see, so these things are repeating again. This time under a government that we didn't expect it happen. It's not Joseph Barker government that did this thing, but like for the benefit of the doubt, for the population at large out there, let's get a comprehensive report rather than inconclusive report and speculation going around and it just died down like that. I don't think it augurs well for this government.
Okay, we're getting some background noise here. I think it's important that we have this sort of conversation because it happened in the past in different forms, like what Dr. Mala said, different form, different scenarios. And we took a conversation. We have a conversation and we said people should be held accountable. And actually, this is coming from the GOL, the government of Liberia, providing explanation. And there was a reason to ask that question, but I think back on, in the interest of fairness, said that unlike the liberal say it's one different as a make. That is so ridiculous for he to say that well, he doesn't want us to talk about it. And I think that is
no, you got it wrong. You got it wrong. You got it wrong, sir.
I'm not saying you. I know you're going to come to his rescue. I say his explanation, the connotation to me, simply suggests that he does not want us to talk about it because it's not moving in his direction. For somebody to have a gun to, and Terry now is trying to walk a fine line, trying to put pieces together as a fire aspect. If the thing is on automatic, what I can do it. I don't, even if this guy was firing his own legs, he's a human being.
You are the red wing. You always try to antagonize the liberal. You say all the liberal views, but you know there are some times you take a high string. The red wing on the broadcast. You know that. All I said, I cannot tell you definitely how many shots were fired. I do not have the detail, but I can give you a final detail. You told me to pause. So what that got to do with liberal or objective? I don't want to be objective.
So you're stopping me from expressing my views based on
what I'm not stopping you, but I try to set a record straight. That's what I'm just saying. Quiet, sir.
Okay, well, again, people have the right to say it. Again, I would say it. You want to sanction, and you will not sanction my saying.
No.
I am saying the explanations provided by GOL does not add a dip of water to suggest, without even concluding, and this somebody said conclusive investigation. They were quick to jump to it. It does happen. People can fire this army guy, and the reason we are having these conversations, he's been going on some sort of investigations. NSA will be interviewing him for his alleged involvement. He came from the polls, from the peacekeeping mission, PSD, all of those things involved. But with his investigation, calling him to be like someone who want to do this AFL wife thing, and out of the sudden, while the investigation is in process, for us to hear that he commits suicide and GOL coming without having, maybe they are concluded out of their investigation to say that this guy fired himself 6 times in the head. So I'm wondering whether he's a robot. Robot say can break down. So that is troubling to have the information institutions how the process that how they got to that point. You're just not speaking to ordinary Liberian, but you're speaking to the world, and those things have the propensity to kind of like create disconnect, and that the government is hiding something. And I think it's important that we have this conversation. Jerry Bacon, let me come to you. So you break the yoke.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah.
I cannot see back.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. See, this is becoming a pattern in Liberia. It's something for us to address. And it is not addressed, it's going to escalate to another level. An EPS officer, interpreter, in February 2017 or 18, when Joshua went to establish a farm on the way by the EPS officer, allegedly, they say he shot himself 6 times. And
Excuse me, Jared. Is it mine audio, or is you breaking in and out as well? Or is
it's your audio, not from me.
It's coming from me, huh?
No,
your audio is clear, Liver.
you're on the same wavelength. You need to ask each other.
The independent voices are ready for us tonight. I'm telling you.
But that's all right. That's all right. So, see, it began. Now, here's another AFL officer who shot himself 6 times. How can that happen? Let's put it into perspective. Let's put it into context. You take a gun and fire yourself. Bam. How many times can you pull that trigger? I said, whereby maybe, I don't know, for the time I've been trained on firearm safety or about suicide. First of all, let's check the main background. Why alleging to commit suicide? Why making to commit suicide? So these are some of the investigations. You have to go from inward, outward. You can't go from outward, inward. What's the background? What was the gun? How he got it? I know you're a military personnel, but these days, any gun that given to the person, they are assigned for it. That gun is given to that individual. So all is in the investigation. But yes, one of the things the government need to do. You see, when you don't come out with a definitive statement, it's always give the conspiracy theory a leverage to say this is what's going on. So you have to be transparent. Tell the Liberian people, this is what's going on. We are going through the investigation. But if you try to sugarcoat it, it's not going to work. There were the conspiracy coming, or it happened in Waka government, it happened in George Weah government, it happened in this government. I mean, I can go back to the list. Like go back to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, in Grieve that died. There was somebody commit suicide. Michael Anderson, they found his body on the beach. He said, "You commit suicide." So all the profile cases, they have never been resolved or they've never been solved. So these are the issues that the Liberian government need. Take for example, October, the guy who took his car and fly into the people. Found out from Harvard. B.W. Harris going to work or found administrator. So all these things, and the government did not come up with definitive up to the time there's no investigation. I don't know what is the conclusion. This something I want to bring to your attention. Okay, so all these things, these are myths. Look at the breach of security.
Right.
The breach of security. That young man that attacked the president. Up to this time, there was an investigation, there was a report, but the report haven't not been published. So if we do all these things and we don't bring it to the public, we are in law enforcement office, law enforcement professional. We make mistakes. Every professional made mistakes, but you may acknowledge. Even the FBI themselves in this country or the CIA had made mistakes. We can look at Gabriel Boulay in Texas. No, so, let me just conclude, please. So the government need to be transparent. These are the issues. Be honest. We are still doing investigation, but at the investigation, you have to brief the people there where we are, because of certain reason we cannot review anything at this time. I think the Liberian people about the idea comparing to say the man commit suicide, that's enough.
So quickly, before I go to it, so you disagree with the government position as a Liberian? Hmm?
Well, that's what I say. The government have to come with a definitive statement and say this is what's going on.
Based on the statement that we know now, do you disagree with the government position?
No, I'm not in the position.
You as a Liberian.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. The government have to come and say these are the issues that we need to be there with, and this is what it is.
Mr. Barker, is that yes to my answer question or what?
I just told you. I just said to you, the government have not come to the conclusion and said, "Man, commit suicide." How does he commit suicide? What led to the suicide? So
but they are made a public. You say it was suicide.
No,
suicide. He himself 6 times.
Yeah.
So I mean, those were enough information. Do you agree with the government?
And that's what I mean. Personally, it did not satisfy me with the statement and say the man commit suicide. That's it.
You're not answering my question. Is that you pleading the fifth? Is that it? Or
no, I'm not in court. If I'm in court, I'll plead the fifth. But I'm not in court. I'm not before the judge. I'm not going to be saying criminal. The only time you plead the fifth is when you are, because your liberty is seized. Then you say I plead the fifth. But why should I plead the fifth when I'm on national radio and national TV? I can't plead the fifth.
It doesn't necessarily be if you choose not to answer a question. Terry is not happy. Let me break in Terry and I'll go to Dr. Jones. Terry.
Yeah, Mr. So.
And I know there was a reason, because you were trying to get to the genesis of this whole thing, and that's why you call in the attention of Mr. Background. With vast security experience, is not an overnight police officer that was trained in Liberia, came on the school and did everything, but unfortunately he cannot answer this question because it's like a bone in his esophagus, which I understand. But let me ask you, based on all of the information that we know, and GOL government put it out there to say, oh, this man, he shot himself 6 times. Come on.
Was it the government that gave that information, or it was the Ministry of Defense? Or no, let's say the military report. I don't know, because to be honest, I myself have not read that information. I've not seen it yet. So I don't know which department of the government that already put out that statement that the man committed suicide.
I can answer that for you.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
According to the High Command of the Armed Forces of Liberia, they announced the death of this man and told the police and took the body to the 37 military hospital. So in between there, the rescue government, in my mind, should jump inside now and say,
oh no, that you're not answering my question. You say in your mind. No. Then that
no. I can't answer your question. I said the High Command.
No. Yeah,
okay,
Mr. Mali.
No. Let's forget about that part. The information, the announcement came from the High Command of the Armed Forces of Liberia.
Stating?
Where's the High Command? Where's the High Command?
Yeah, what the announcement say?
Here from front page. I have it 2 computers here. I'm reading that thing from my computer.
So my point is, Mr. So, is that because he's saying something, we're all reading the announcement. What is in the report?
I'm reading the thing to you.
So,
what it says.
Okay, let me read the whole thing. The High Command of the Armed Forces of Liberia, AFL, has announced that one of its soldiers, Sergeant Bobby Manager, allegedly took his own life. First paragraph.
It says that he shot himself 6 times in the head.
Story, yeah.
So let's answer. Let's make it short. We have other things to talk about. Terry,
on front page, Africa. Go there.
Okay, so they were quoting to the Ministry of National Defense because the deceased works for the Ministry of National Defense.
Yes.
The Ministry of National Defense is the one that releases this statement we are talking about and how the body was removed, blah, 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 and all of that. So when the Ministry of National Defense speaks, you not just, you speak, I mean, there is a a soldier is dead, right, and you come out and saying that this is where I came from, and
Yeah, but Mr. So, well, let my point here, because I even read that thing, and it says clearly pending investigation. Mr. Malik can tell me that that is not in our report. Pending investigation. That is why Mr. Bacon said,
it's a long report here.
I know, but you should also put pending investigation. That means they have now finally concluded that this man shot himself 6 times in the head. So which means we have to wait for the full details of the information in regards to how the man died. I myself want to believe that this man was murdered. I want to believe he was killed. I don't want to believe that. From that, I asked Mr. Bacon, can somebody shoot themselves in the head 6 times? Because there's a possibility the gun could be automatic, and the man shot once and blah, blah, blah. But then again, he said clearly, these are people who handle this thing. So with that being said, I cannot definitively argue and agree on speculation that the man shot himself 6 times in the head, because that is not even in a report. It's in a report that the man committed suicide and pending investigation. It is not in a report, I have not read it yet, that says that the man shot himself 6 times in the head. That's just my own argument.
My argument was because if you go back in February, in Tapeta, it was stated that the EPS guy shot himself 6 times.
Right.
That's what I said. But with this time, I have no definitive information that led to shooting the individual that shot himself 6 times.
That's what we are saying. That's why GOL is reported. Let me get this caller here quick, and I'll come right back to you. Caller, are you there?
Yeah. Mr. So, how you doing?
Good. Let's hear you quickly.
Yeah. I got one question for Terry. The reason why I'm asking this question, because Terry is asking Dr. Mali, did the report not say, pending investigation? So if a police or a military organization comes up and say the man committed suicide, and then they come back and say pending investigation, don't you find that contradicting, you too, Terry? Don't you find that contradicting? If the investigation is not concluded yet, why are they ruling the man death as a suicide?
It's alleged that he committed suicide. It's alleged.
Let me finish your point, Terry.
That's the first question. That's the first question you need to ask. And when they say the military high command, who is the commander-in-chief for the armed forces of Liberia? It's the president of Liberia. So I'm not saying the president gave order for them to kill anybody. No, that's not what I'm saying. But if you saying the military high command and that Mr. Bacon trying to ask who is the military high command?
So
the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of
No,
Liberia.
You're there wrong.
No, hold on. We hold people accountable here.
Mr. So I'm not saying the president is the military high command. I know the military high command and the chief of staff, the commanding general, the minister of defense. I know all of that.
Okay.
I'm not saying that.
All right.
I'm just trying to
Okay. So yeah, I just want to make sure. Yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure because not just we don't want people to care. We don't want people to care that you say, "Oh, the LPR is the military high command and the president."
No. I'm not saying the president gave any order for anything to happen. Okay. I'm just saying, the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia. So in this case, if the military high command come up with such a contradicting,
Aaron.
The commander-in-chief should intervene right away.
No, it doesn't work.
The military high command and say, look, what's going on over there?
So hold on one second.
Don't you think you have the authority to do that?
It can happen, but it's not a reactionary. Listen, in the interest of fairness. Hold on.
The reason why I'm saying this, the last time we had similar tragic event when the EPS guy when they said, you know.
So yes, Aaron. Hold on. No, hold on. You know, don't get in feelings. These are critical issues here that we are talking about.
I'm not
There are two.
It's a critical issue.
Yeah, they are two possible. They are two different.
Be objective when we're discussing it.
And that's why we are.
Yeah, but do that.
Yeah, but listen now, you're trying to blow it over the roof now too, because the issue with the EAPS was on a specific assignment with the president, traveling with the president. That one component. This other guy here, he was assigned at a specific place, BTC, when this thing happened. So when the military high command comes out, they will tell us they assign this person. So we will take their word. If they speak, we say the government speaks. But at the same time, we cannot say the military high command is the president. That, you know, whatever they say, that's what the president is saying. No, that's not what we are saying. But we do believe, and I do believe, and I agree with Terry. If the military, if they come out to say that this guy shot himself and all of that, then they are telling us that's the position, that's the information. Because if something happens, the reason you see the people do regular briefing is based on the information that they get. Nobody put finger in their throat. They could have told people alleged suicide is being committed. The joint security or the military is doing their own investigation. But when they jump ahead and start giving all details and the things they want to leave other pieces there, then that's a command. And that's what I came out to say. This Minister of National Defense, I think, is like Samuel Doe appointing Boyman Barclay when Grady Allison left, because this is just a clearly point that you cannot handle that Ministry of National Defense. Make your point quickly, 30 seconds.
But this is what I'm saying, though, Mr. So. I understand, I get your point. Nobody's saying the president authorized or the president is supposed to stay, or the president is the military high command. But him being the commander-in-chief for the armed forces of Liberia, such a tragic incident happened, and the stories are so contradicting, like the way the stories are in the media. He should step in. That's what we're saying.
No, but that's not because no. Aaron, I don't want us to be a dialogue. I got to go back to the analyst here, and I will speak to that. But Evans, make your point quickly, and I will come to that. Because I don't want to do it with your CDC and Unity Party beef here. That's what I want. Evans, make your point quickly.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, and hello to the panelists. There's no issue with the sergeant his death being ruled of suicide. Myself, I've never heard that he was shot in his head 6 times. I saw the picture that's been circulating in one of our chat groups. And what we saw is, I think, a couple of bullet holes. But one that was very troubling was the bullet hole, the exit wound at the back of his head was very large, which from our layman's observation would say that it was a high caliber bullet, that went through his head. So it leads one to believe that a man who is well trained, it will be hard for somebody to come up to him from the front, because the entry wound was from the front of his head, and put a gun to his head and shoot him without any kind of resistance. So suicide is not necessarily, out of the picture. But then again, like most people can say, one of the things about suicide is when a person is going to kill themselves, it doesn't happen, spontaneously. It's really like a plan. So for you to put your uniform on, get in car and drive to work, stand there for a few hours, and then just get going to shoot yourself in the middle of the day or the night, it's highly unlikely. So like everybody is saying, the fact that the government has concluded that it was a suicide, but they're still doing investigation, that is also plausible, because suicide, most persons commit suicide, it's not the end of it. Sometimes you got to look into their background. If they have depression, if they have history of mental distress, if they have a life-changing, event like divorce or close death in the family, or maybe they have cancer, whatever the case, you have to, further investigate to get a full conclusion. And then lastly, before I get off the line, I want to just touch on the guy from Senegal. Look, Thomas Sankara gave a speech at the OAU. I think, the year before he died, he gave that speech was urging all African, leaders to come together, because if they come together and one accord, The European government cannot control that and they can build Africa up. You know, he had a good intent. He had noble intent, but we have to understand the world order that we live in, like Mr. Salvatore was saying. We live in a world order, and Africa is at the bottom of that world order. If you want to lift your people up, shut your mouth and do the work. Don't telegraph everything that you want to do so that your enemies or your perceived enemies know what you're trying to do. Do it in secret. Let your actions speak for you. Show them your wet teeth, but behind the back, you're doing the work of your people and trying to lift them up from that oppression. Don't come here beating your chest, because at the end of the day, you don't have the power, you don't have the economic might to fight these guys. You have to build yourself up to a position of strength before you can start making demands. Like you saw what China did. China played a fool and gain wisdom, and now they're competing against the West. We have to take that same mentality as Africa and not look at ourselves as, oh, the people that have been treating us good, the people that have been doing this, we'll do this, and we'll do it. We're not in that position at the moment to do anything of the sort. But thank you for taking my call. We're listening to the show. We're enjoying the conversation. Thank you.
You see, my argument, I'm concerned, I want my government to properly coordinate the information sharing. That is very, very vital, because if you don't do that, you just create a problem, and all next you're going to be doing is damage control. So if you don't have it, don't release it. It is obvious, citizen people will be eager. Nobody is rushing you, because these are very, very much important things. Nobody is rushing you to just throw anything out there because you want people to be satisfied. That's not how it works. You need to get the details on hand and give them pieces by pieces, just how we see people do here. You don't just get up and then something happens and you start talking. It makes me to feel like we almost going down, and this is not what we expect with this government, especially when it comes to information sharing. These are things that should be properly coordinated. The Defense Authority, the Ministry of Information, and even the Executive Mansion, before they can even take to the microphone. But for them to start jumping, to start saying that here, that's troubling here. Okay, so let's go back to the live view here to have this conversation.
Yeah, I don't know. I wanted to say something to what he was saying. I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm reading the report presently right now, and it's clearly stating here, Mr. So, that it's clearly stating here that this guy is alleged. The military said allegedly that the man shot himself. I mean, yeah, that the man committed suicide. They didn't say the man shot himself 7 times in the head. It's nowhere in the report. There's a report here. The Monrovia, Liberia Command of the Armed Forces of Liberia has announced that one of its soldiers, Sergeant Bobby Manning, allegedly took his own life. All right. And further down, it says that the police is doing investigation. So I don't know where the guys coming from, because they want to combine the sedition, now want to bring a Melvin Ellis or story into this scenario and compare it to say, oh yeah, the CT job we are there, that the CT President Boka doing. These are all politics, because it's nowhere here that the man shot himself 7 times.
There are 2 different cases. There's no correlation.
Right.
They are the same paramilitary people, but they are 2 different cases, and that's what I was trying to call Aaron's attention. There are 2 different things happening. We just want the processing of information aspect to be very coherent, and they put it out here. Kato?
Yeah, brother. So thank you so much. I've been listening to everybody. You see, we turn to take ourselves from in the real aspect of this story, the kind of crucial story, and put partisan head, cap on our head. Now, one of the things when people are making these kind of pronouncement about somebody die or mysterious death, you don't just jump to conclusion. And that's where our security apparatus and most of our so-called professional people, kick the can down the road. I will not even say alleged. I will not even say alleged that he committed suicide. I will say he was discovered with a bullet wound to his head. It was a fatal wound. He's dead with a bullet wound. And in fact, from there, we can say investigation continues, and just give it to the public like that. And then let the public know that as we get development, we will bring it out to the public. But when you say somebody alleged or committed suicide, you have already put into our public, in the eyes of the public, that he committed suicide. Then they start to dig down. How can a man commit suicide? What happened for him to commit suicide? The man who is part of an investigation, because of the army wife, why would he go commit suicide? No, it's not this. So we gotta be professional when we do these things. I think it's unfortunate that every little thing is a sedition unity party, sedition running with a unity party. When this story came out, sedition was not the one that put it out. It came from Front Page Africa. Sedition did not run with it. I think we should stop this. That's why I keep saying on this network, if we want our country to move forward, we got to take the partisan hair cap away and put Liberia first. We should hold these people accountable. Because Brother So says something. Every time a new administration comes, we bring the police to that administration and call the police CDC police, Unity Party police, instead of Liberian police. And the police act like that because we bring, and don't forget, the Bible says life and death lies on the tongue. We continue to bring these people so they act the way they act. All right? You hear a police officer going to arrest somebody, instead of being professional, you will start bringing it as sedition. Your sedition will deal with a police officer doing that kind of stuff. So you see, when the people say that, it's because we all propagate the same news. We should hold them to a standard where they will be neutral in the process. The neutrality should be seen widely. Let us see the police is professional in doing the job. And when it comes to death, they should be able to investigate, preliminary investigation, before you come out and speak. When you speak, let the public be sitting now waiting to hear the next statement are coming or follow the investigation. Investigation is a process. It's not an event. So people just jump to conclusion. If you don't give the public what they want to hear, they will run out with their own story. They will run out with their own story, and to erase that story from their mind, brother, it would take a long time. Today we're discussing here. Somebody died in the party. Government will bring in CDC. Thing that happened when President Weah was going on his county tour, because it's in the mind of people. I think it's better that we wait and see the people investigating this.
Let's go to the liberal wing of this network. You say it doesn't matter. I'm not sure you're still on this yet. But look, liberal, it has become, it continues to be a pattern, the information sharing, which of course, they are very serious, because if you don't manage these informations, and that's how things are blown over the roof. What do you make of the information sharing? We saw what happened the other day, the Minister of Information again, coming or going on a major network, and you frown on that. We all frown on that. You can't work for a government. It's not a matter of, oh, this is a bonnet I can make. No, you destroy your government that you work for. If you don't have comment, if you don't have an idea or something, you have the right to reserve comments until you get the required information and get back to the public. Is this becoming some sort of troubling, the information processing, how it's being coordinated, liberal?
Thank you, Mr. So. Look.
Your volume is high.
Can you hear me now?
Much better.
Okay. Look, I don't know what is happening in Liberia in terms of information from the government. We have similar issue like this here with President Weah, and I'm not trying to compare anything. I'm just saying, out of the system, it's just set up. The structure of the system is set up to fail. That most people have not recognized it, because we spoke about these things even before Unity Party and President Baka came to power. And they themselves, many of the Unity Party folks were also involved in the discussion, how the lack of information, informing our people, allowing people to manipulate the system and manipulate the information. Mr. So, I'm not too sure what this is, but the way the government is being handling information, for example, they will wait until press time at the Minister of Information before other ministers and things like that to make an announcement or to even have a press conference. Why these ministers and the ministry, why can't they not have their own press bureau where they will be able to invite the press and have the conversation? Now, it's unbelievable, because that's why you have the cabinet meetings, I would think, where the discussion of the day will be carried out with the president, information with the president. And if, for example, certain ministry have the important information they want to announce, they can have that conversation with the president or whoever the president designate to be in between him and the ministry. But they have to wait until they go to the how do you call it, Minister of Information. By that time, some of the information might have already been leaked out, and the opposition or any other person, or even LPR, will carry it. Samson Tour will carry it and improvise. So by me doing that, the minister or whoever it is, they see the need to respond. And in the process of responding, they might say something that is not quite truth. And so when you go to the ministry to have the main information now, the information from what they gave before and what they're giving now, it's not the same. Now, I'm not too sure what this is, but these are things Unity Party and President Waka need to get hold of, because these are things every Liberian have talked about, whether they're media practitioner or not. And I feel bad for you, because you are trained in this area. And to see these kinds of stuff happening, I know the amount of headache they probably give you is unbelievable. But then again, I love it when they give you headache. I love it when they give you headache. So you being a trained media practitioner or news practitioner, I like when the people give you headache like that.
You're the chief of headache here. So Dr. Jones, let me just bring you in here. I think there's a big gap here, and I was speaking with somebody within the system, and I think I've come to realize one of the things that we do not realize, unlike here, the reason they have press secretary here is they do not have minister of information, and so their press secretary speaks for the White House, speaks for the government. Liberia, we have a minister of information who is the chief custodian of the as an official spokesperson of the government of Liberia. And there is, and there continues 1 year. The only time I saw this continue and minimize was during Alhaji G.V. Kroma, the late Alhaji G.V. Kroma, as Minister of Information, and C. Alexon Carpet. I would say of lately, in my own view, they are the two best ministers, information, in terms of getting information, putting it out there the way it should be. There's a serious with the just the same way with the joint we have executive mansion. It's ongoing now with the Boyka executive mansion. The Ministry of Information, the Press and Public Affairs, the executive mansion, the presidential press secretary. There is a big disconnect. There is a big disconnect, and the need to contain that. Mally Jones, with this in mind, I think GOL needs to revisit her information sharing. Like the presidential press secretary speaks on the activities, the rendezvous, the activities of the president, who the president want to be meeting this week, next week, the coming month, the president's rendezvous. But when it comes to central government, I think it should be channeled through the Ministry of Information. I feel that's where it's supposed to be. Anthony Cassidy, the liberal group, and Anthony Cassidy, Kula, and all of those people, they are kind of like bumping heads right now. Let me just bring you.
Well, I think what's going on right now, I would classify as some of the complexity in information dissemination, which has become a big fiasco, if I should say that. There's no complete coherence in the information dissemination, and a smart analyst may conclude that His Excellency still don't have hand or his government in totality. One arm is seeing the other one, and government is a structural institution. But when the structural institution is not coherent with the dissemination of information, then the president is either looking on the left and people are dancing in the fence all by themselves and doing their own thing. and that can be very dangerous. So as you said rightly, they need to put their house in order. But don't forget, every administration have got modus operandi how to go about doing that thing. We'll talk, we'll make our suggestion, we'll make our recommendation, but if it is their modus of operandi or disseminating information, nothing you myself can do about it. We can just talk and talk and talk, and it's going to be like that until they get into the mood of damage control. Every day they're coming back to repair. Everybody coming back to clarify. Everybody coming back to clarify. It's not a good thing. But back to this, the death of this soldier. Panelist Colin just said the police investigation is ongoing. I agree with you, Mr. Colin, that how it's supposed to be. But of late, since January 22nd up to today, the inaugural budget is still inconclusive. The soldier-wide riot committee was set up, investigation is still inconclusive. The audit of Georgia government is still inconclusive. The publication of public access into the newspaper is still inconclusive. So when I put all the inconclusive in one basket, I will want to draw the conclusion that the police investigation into the suicide will also be inconclusive. I yield.
So we're not going to do anything. Gerald Barcom, do you agree with this?
I knew that where you were going.
Do you still see as an independent guy?
Which one independent? Oh.
He was never an independent. He's a undercover CDC independent. Anyway.
You see, the question you're asking me is redundant.
I know.
Yeah, why? The question is redundant because first of all, when you came on the show, we were up. Then you took off from there, you broke us down. Yeah? So now you're asking me. Yeah? You have brought a man to the front.
So, the independent voices are up.
What are you talking about?
Let me make it more redundant. I told you people here, I know how I told you people. I don't know what wrong with
your man will not make it. Your man will not make it. Labor is in his own room tonight, so your man will not make it. That's why he fled to waiting.
I see why they were not even talking.
No, okay, for Terry, we can manage with Terry. Terry is gradually pivoting in our direction. Terry can stay there.
Yeah. Terry can go upstairs.
Yeah. No problem. You see, you got to come from the bottom before you go top. So there's no so when I fall, at least I'm on the ground. So that's the whole thing. On the ground.
Oh my God.
You know, when he go upstairs, I run on the ground. So if I fall, there'll be no impact. But he up, that's it. But anyway, all sincereness. I agree with that. This issue is alarming. It's something for really for us to say that. It began in a pattern. And we have to be honest on the issues. Rice, inauguration, so far so on. It is alarming. We have to be honest. I said it the other day. It is time for His Excellency to let him take over his government. If anything go wrong in his administration, if Jerry Barcom was Minister of Defense, it's reflection of his government. They don't say Jerry government, they will say Mr. Bweka government. So it is time for His Excellency to reconsider some of the decision, to make a hard decision. In your leadership, it's not time to carry Bible there. You have to be precise and be definitive what your government want to do. And it's getting out of control. I hope when he returns from his trip, he will make some solid decision, especially with these issues are going on. How do we control the government? So, folks, that's my final word. I hope to leave here. I got to run somewhere. I got to go pick up my granddaughter. So long.
Yeah, we are already over the top set, so we will be. But yeah, but back on. Thank you so much. We'll be back here. I will sit for the Libra tomorrow, so feel free. Come, your voice will be heard, and but the idea of me calling his name 55 times, that's not going to happen. So let he just forget that. That's not going to happen. If you want to, you are the co-host. You want to host it. That's okay.
Thank you. I will co-host it. No problem.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that, Mr. So? Why don't you set it up and Jay host do the whole thing? You just don't even show up.
No, I'm not going to do monkey web bamboo draw.
Wait a minute.
I will say I want to set the table for him. He can no, I don't want to do that. And you want him to do it, he will start it, he will finish it.
But
I know once you sit in, you will bring the doctor man on the program.
But Lebron, why not just focus on your trip so it becomes 100% successful?
Yeah, there we go. You know, he doing it now. So my show will be in your control. I'll be watching.
Yeah, guys, we are already over the time. We want to say thank you to everybody, but before we wrap up, there are a couple of things happening, folks that we talked to. I think these Moja boys that are with President Boyka, trust me, they are giving hell. Moja people, I'm telling you, I've said it. Moja, the history of these Moja boys, and that's exactly what his name, Alara talked about them doing. From Oyanden did that. Back of Matthews, they have all of these Moja boys that more or less they are communist type of people. They never work with people. Back of
Matthew, Famonia, and the rest of the people, those are now Moja. Moja will be Dr.
boys. They are
Moja will be Dr. Sawyer.
Dr. Tipote.
I'm telling you something. To all of these people have these Moja ideology.
Progressive. I don't want you to mix us up with the scary folks who, when the time comes for real issue with Tower, they run back to their Tivotel. He's a good friend of mine, by the way. But they run back to their Tivotel ground and not ready to really stand up.
That's what makes them Mojas. They are how they are ideologically becomes they are Moja people, but they are in different shit. They don't work with people. They don't do that. Flomoya went to this place here. He sacked people. Moja is like they have that sort of communist type of way of doing things. If you not agree with them, they can't work with you. Back on Matthew, then they did that. He never worked with when Doe appointed David Fahad. How can they send him to Commerce? Because he said, well, I can't work with them, man. These people, they have a long root. They are wealth. They have a history. That's who they are. Now, another thing that is breeding within this government, this guy who the guy that's procurement. George, there were some other good things he did, but they were not implemented. So that executive order now is being perfected, is being implemented by the George where it said any ministry or rent agency budget or whatever spending over $5,000 executive national have to approve it. President Buakana is Joy we are put it in the law. It was now implemented, no action. But President Buakana is doing it, and this is where people are pissed because they, that's where they do their thing and they have their own little places to go and get supply. But the guy that is there now, by the time you send it, you say, okay, or and a supply you want, you send it. And people do not like those kind of systems. So people are not happy because they do not want to see a change system. And I think this is where this whole thing is coming from. But guys, it's on it. We get things to do. We want to say thank you to all of our people for being here this evening. Terry, are you ready to make a formal pronouncement? Which way you're going to be letting to see Jerry back on gone? Libra deserted you the other day. Are you ready to come on board with us?
Huh?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Yeah,
You said you were going to be making a major announcement here tonight.
actually not ready. I'm an independent guy. Like I told you, I'm independent. I'm not a traditionalist. I'm an independent guy. I respect all traditions, and I can work. I'm flexible. I can work with anybody, regardless your level of your belief, your political stance.
Just to make sure, because the liberal was in listening, you say you are what? Independent?
Yeah, I'm an independent guy, but I'm not an independent voice. I'm not part of the independent voices on Lpr Network. Lpr Network have the independent voices that Keto have just migrated to you guys, which is a good thing. But yeah, I still remain independent, and I do support JMB. But definitely, because so if I see him going wrong, I would definitely highlight it. Like all these things you show about Yeke Koluba, I think that Yeke Koluba, look at look at his statements. They are not very definite. Yeke Koluba and all that.
Okay, let's put it into context. Besides his talking point being coherent, which of course he always does, we know it. But there is, do you think there is a message in his saying, except they are not coherent, they are not being processed as you may feel or as others may feel? But do you think he has a point?
Well, Yeke Koluba always have some good points that he can stress, but it's very, very disjointed and is not corroborated properly. So as a result, the whole entire message he's trying to present now turned out to be something else. And that is why I don't really like to hurt my ears to listen, because he's a lawmaker, he's supposed to be saying sound things. But when he comes to the table, instead of he bringing himself properly, he always come with all kinds of stuff that will make people not to believe what he's saying. And that is what it is. So today I was just listening to him, and I just felt that it was not something to listen to, because he was not ready saying, first of all, look at the man coming in the country, he's talking about the motorcyclists. The motorcyclists, they are already resolved the issue. That's why I say he sounds like he's somebody frustrated, because what he was expecting to come with that heavy noise to raise contention, it didn't work. Because everything he stressed out is already being ironed up. Everything you talk about, the motorcyclists, you talk about it, people are already solved the problem with the government. So what you really talking about? Now, the only thing you're talking about now is the road issue. And the road issue, the horse is already dealing with it right now. So everything is being resolved. Everything is going through the process. So I don't know. But yeah.
Thank you so much. Keta, what's a closing statement?
Well, thank you again. I think I would just like to admonish all of us that we should put Liberia above our political interests or the individual that we put above our country. We should erase him or erase her and put Liberia first. If we desire of our country, prospering our country, doing the right thing, I think we should be more Liberian than being, party loyalists or individual loyalists. I think we should focus on how old is our country and some of the things that our past leaders did that did not bring development to our nation. We can hold the present leader accountable because he said that he was going to do it. And if he's not doing it, we should stand up, we should man up and hold into that he will be able to do it. Because if he does what he said he was going to do, it will benefit our children or our children's children. So I on this platform now, like I said, I'm more leaning on Liberia. I'm hoping, I'm optimistic that if we move in a direction where we hold our leaders accountable, we tell them that they are our servant, we put them there. And because of what they told us they would do, they should do. They cannot come back and say they cannot do X, Y, Z. Then we'll move them. Yeah.
So let's get it right. You say on this network, are you still a Wiashin or not?
Well, my relationship with President Weah remains the same because I've been knowing President Weah way before his presidency. No. Weah has nothing to do with the presidency. I've been knowing President
But
Weah.
then you're not an independent voice.
No. I've been knowing President Weah way before his presidency. Many of the things that were told about President Weah, they are all fallacies. And many, I said many, I didn't say all, I said many are all fallacies. And you know, and I know.
Name one.
Because
question,
they want already one.
He killed TD boys. He killed TD boys to take that kidney and put it to get kidney. Was it true?
But that was not a major discussion. Anyway,
it was even said. It was even said at the Americans' hearing. This same Lento hearing. It was even said with even Jerome Verdier. So yes,
Keta,
sir.
you're not an independent voice.
Are you still a reaction?
I am a reaction.
You guys.
Are we are saying in the sense that I'm an IE fanatic?
Oh, okay.
I love President
You're
William.
not an independent voice.
All right. So, Dr.
I don't mean Mr. Two.
Yeah.
I don't mean Mr. Two because we
Yes. For my conclusion, I think it would be a little bit controversial, but let me just put it out there. I'm a little bit disenchanted in the professional appearance of the foreign minister of Liberia. I saw her in a delegation that came to the United States on a business conference. As she appeared the last time before the House on her vetting stuff. I mean, I don't know why the foreign minister keep wearing hair gear almost everywhere, because I strongly believe in the foreign sector. I think there should be some real dress code, the women's suit. I mean, hair wear in a different faction. But I see the foreign minister, she always traditional, And it does not august well for the foreign sector she's hailing. I saw her with a green hair tie, with an African blouse. Yeah, maybe she tried to portray, but I'm very sorry. I mean, I'm taking a back.
How do you want her to dress?
Yes,
How do you want her to dress?
Let him finish. Then you will make your point.
No way.
This is my observation.
Why do you like to silence people on this?
Yes.
Yeah, bro. It's
bro, I know you keep traveling with your vendetta tools, but it can't work in our sector. This sector is neutralized already. However, thank you for your protection, CEO. However, it were not for you, I've been booted out ever since. However, the foreign minister keep traveling. I don't know, but actually I find a problem with the dress code. I'm sorry to say, it seems to be a bit questionable, but this is the foreign minister. One or two fundamental responsibility on her hand. One, to market the image of Liberia on the international scene. All right. Two, to sell His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Liberia. Through those mediums, we will begin to see connections. But I see the foreign minister spending so much time in Liberia when she should be all over the place. Every time I see her traveling, that Joseph Barker is going somewhere. When will she go somewhere and lay a lot of groundwork for Joseph Barker to keep moving in and making connections? You see? Yes. I know she's doing some great work, but that's my own personal perspective about the hair gear she tying and her African attire to, I don't know. I seem to be crucified, but personally, I'm finding a problem with that. If I were the president of the Republic of Liberia, I would really invite her for a discussion on these issues.
Okay.
So you think her dress code does not look professional, diplomatic?
Colin, you got to put steak in my throat. I think the message speak for itself.
No, I'm just asking, doctor, because I know I want him to be informed,
Collins, I will plead the fifth going forward on that.
Okay, the liberal progressive. Thank you.
Good night, Mr. So. Thank you very much for the show.
And while you were trying to interrupt Dr. Mao?
Well, I just don't see that Liberia Public Radio will entertain such a comment about the dress code of a lady. There's nothing in the Liberian
not of a
Constitution.
lady, of the foreign minister.
Mr. So, do you want me to talk or not?
No, you interrupted me. I will interrupt you. Not of a lady, of the foreign minister of the Republic of Liberia.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Mr. So,
yes.
For a PhD, Dr. Mel is to come out here and talk about how the foreign minister, who happen to be a female, and talking about the female dressing aspect, the hair tie and the dresses she's wearing. It's unacceptable.
No, so
Mr. So, you wanted me to speak. Let me make my point. It's unacceptable. And LPR should not permit such a comment from a decent human being, by the way. But there's no reason to come out here in this day and age to come and criticize the dress code of a female member of a society. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Mr. Toh, Mr. So, I agree with Mr. Toh on this one. I think she's an African. She must dress as an African. She's not a European. When a European go to Africa, they wear what they want, their European clothes. Let her dress as an African woman. She is representing Liberia. Liberia is an African nation. She can wear her hair tie and she can go. The hair tie got nothing to do with the knowledge she carrying. I think
that one you call independent. He run away now. He run away now. The independent.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying
to show how we independent here.
No, but this is how you guys going to get into little feelings and emotion. But for you to say because she's a lady, of course, if she's a lady and she represented my country, if I feel she's not dressing,
do you the Constitution dress code you must have, Mr. So?
We don't
that either. You cannot justify this. This is
not a constitutional issue. You said good night. Yeah, I decided to.
No, I'm buying. The sleep. You and Dr. Mani, the sleep out of my eyes. You're clear the sleep out of my eye completely. I'm buying.
So what I want to say, no, listen. What I'm saying, you have the right to express your views, your opinions on what Mali is saying. But for you to use a gender card because she's a lady, and so people can speak of, well, she's a lady, but she represents the image of the country. So if what?
Where are you going with it? Because she represents the image of the Republic of Liberia. Therefore, is there any dress code specified in the Constitution? Is there any dress code specified in the code of conduct of how and when the minister can wear? You sit on here, you got George, we are with all that nyama clothes you are wearing. We made it that way.
No. I wanna have you go there.
You see, they are going to put you in his corner now. They talk about where we are now. You get.
But I thought you said you wanted to make the labor bad. The labor come for you now, then you running away.
That's what I said. I wanna have you go there.
What propo?
No, on a serious note.
Ryan wearing propo. Anybody comment? When a woman dress, he dressing in propo uniform this afternoon, and then he want to make a comment on the lady dress code. What do you think we are? Is this some kind of? I don't want to say the county I let red. I don't want to say the county, but I want to play. I want to play with people. So what do you think? What do you think this is?
Which county?
Huh?
Which county that we're red?
Good night, Mr.
He's looking for Pat George. He's looking for Pat George. I know where you go here.
Did I say anybody?
No.
I didn't say anything.
That's exactly what he's saying. I know. You texted me just now. You're looking for Pat George.
Look, honestly, I didn't really put eyes on that picture, but I know I saw her confirmation. Her dress. You know, sometimes people don't understand. When this lady is the doyen of the diplomatic corps. She is the face, literally next to the president of the Republic of Liberia, outside Liberia.
Yes.
So there are so many things that speak volume. I'm not talking about you just so emotion and things running through your head.
You have no right. You have no right as a Liberian under the Constitution. You have no right to make comments of any other person attire. None whatsoever. As long as that person is dressing appropriately, that's why it is. If your government feel that this female member of our society is her dress that does not represent the code of conduct, let the government come out and say this is the kind of dressing you need to do. Please, let's stop the show now before we get chewed by other media institutions.
I don't care about that. I don't care about them chewing people. We chew people. So people. We just. This is why you people. You don't like to face the reality. And this is why you people make a fake also, because you make a fake.
You ain't go drink my bottle of milk, sir.
You want to drink the juice again?
So, can I ask a question? Can I ask a
You want to
question?
drink the juice again?
Can I ask a question? When we see the foreign minister from what the country name from Saudi Arabia, do they wear kosu and necktie, or they come wearing the Arab clothes? Because if for me, we are African people, we must embrace our culture before other people embrace our culture. If we do not, regardless of how being the foreign minister.
I don't think they have problem with the African wearing. I think they have problem with the way in which they dress. You know, the dress code. Sometimes your African wearing should be very expensive, and the quality of what you wear also show diplomacy.
Thierry, the church in you is speaking right now. I also, to be honest with you, I've seen her dressing style, and sometimes I also wrestle, but as a human being,
Why you do that?
Look at Ellen. Ellen always wore African, but she everywhere she went, she was received.
Guys, let's be honest.
So it's not about the African. You are African. That's your culture. Is good.
Exactly.
But you have to present yourself accordingly, like a diplomat. All right. Even if you're wearing African, Ellen used to wear African. Ellen wore African every time.
Where's the picture?
And she was well received all over the world.
To be honest, this particular picture,
this is not about church.
Never really put eyes on it, but I'm just saying from one.
I'm not saying I didn't look at it, but you know,
I'm gonna take a look. But I'm saying from the confirmation, we saw the confirmation. That way of presenting yourself before the house, it was terrible. It was horrible as doyens of the diplomatic corps. Something we have to do. I don't care what other network people say. I don't have control. No, I don't have control over people's feelings, their sentiment, what they think. But what we are saying, and like what Terry said, if you look at Ruth Sando Perry, her dressing, right? If you look at even Helen Johnson's Salim, there are certain things, there are certain community, there are certain places that you go. We have nothing to see where African. But
what I'm interested in, can she produce? Can she do the work? People, forget about dressing. I'm not concerned with that. I'm not concerned with it. This is what make I will call those type of statement chauvinist. I will call it such. I'm not going to hold back on that, because for you to sit here and start judging how the other woman dressed, how's the other person dressed, no. The days of paying dowry for women in Liberia, it's over. We're not paying dowry anymore.
No, so what we are saying.
The fact that
so you're going to Western marriage?
to dress the way.
No. We're not talking about dowry business here. You're mixing it up. We're not talking about dowry. Nobody say people should pay dowry. That's not what we are saying.
Pay dowry that they tell you want to take control of what.
But Papa, you talk about ethics on the show for over 2 hours. There is no way you can discuss ethics. You don't discuss dress code, because dress code is paramount in ethics.
I agree with you.
What is dress code?
What is the dress code?
What is dress code?
Dress code for occasion. There are occasions. There are certain occasions you can't just dress carelessly. It's not about the African. We're not talking about the African.
What do you mean carelessly?
What do you mean by
anything? You just wear anything. Like, for example, you just wear someone a pregnant woman gown. You just go to a diplomatic occasion.
What do you call pregnant woman gown? I want to know. What do you call pregnant woman gown?
The quality of what you wear. The quality of what you wear plays a major role in diplomatic dress code.
Terry,
There
let
is
me tell you
something they call
something.
diplomatic dress code. You don't know that, Keto?
Terry, let me
What
tell you
is it?
something. Yeah.
What is it?
You
What
know
is
what
it?
happened? You know what happened to us? What happened to us? We always borrow from the West. We don't
This is not
identify.
Western
Hold on,
timber. It have nothing to do with
Terry.
Western
Terry,
dress
hold on
code.
1 minute. We always identify. We borrow from the
I
West.
will
And understand
excuse
that
myself
when
because I think
when
this subject
everything is
matter is,
diplomatic,
if we're
it has
not
to
careful,
be
Anyway,
it's
pursue.
going to hang us.
Ellen Johnson said he
This
wore
subject
hair
matter is
tie all her
not
trips.
an
Hair
issue that
tie.
we want to
It was
discuss
tie was
in detail.
scarf going across here. She wore hair
yes,
tie. This
but the
Mr.
quality
Jones,
of what she
Mr.
wore.
Jones is saying, why
Let
don't we
white
wear hair
president wear.
tie?
Why you think
Look at Nigerian presidents.
that way?
Huh?
Why you think Helen Johnson said he was dressing that way?
Because she's an African. She tried to tell the people
No,
I
not
would
a
dress.
matter of being Africans. You give a specific descriptions of her dress style. Why you think she was dressing that way?
That's what I'm saying. She was exhibiting our African culture. Hair tie. She tie her hair. She tie her hair. You haven't seen an American woman go out, especially on a diplomatic mission with a hair tie? No. We are African. We should dress as African and appreciate it. Nobody should determine how
That's
we
not
dress.
what we're saying. We are not saying people should not dress like an African. That's not what we are saying. And let me just be clear here.
Exactly are you saying?
I just want to see the picture. If you can show me the picture, then I can give you.
If you can just calm down and stop being so emotional with this thing, because
that baby bottle you're drinking from?
and you the power you start drinking your cherry juice too, so you not tell Terry to start drinking. You see, Terry, I told you this guy doesn't like your business. You see what he's doing to you? He tries to find somebody like this. Okay.
But minimum water.
I will search for that picture. I want to see it.
But I beg you, Mr. So please let it not be topic of discussion.
What?
Search for the picture and just share in the chat room. But this particular subject matter must not and should not be subject for discussion on this show.
Let me just tell you now. Madam Cyril Beslo Nyanti is the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Liberia.
Yeah.
If anything concerns her, we need to give you a fair conversation.
People have problem with Finabono dress code. Marcel have problem with Finabono dress code. When Finabono used to follow President Weah, the way she used to dress was not appropriate. It was not appropriate.
Oh. You agree with you?
Get them frozen. They don't that job people. They don't worry about them. That's what they are. We know them. But we're talking and the people
Mr. To, not because you're not being objective. Mr. To, not because you're not being objective, you're gonna pull, you're gonna come.
That match will not work tonight.
It's not working.
I don't know how far it's gonna go.
Okay, guys.
All right, good night, folks.
Good night. All we want the best out of Liberia. We want a pathway for people to when you go to business conferences to tell you don't wear business suit because you're going to interact with different people. Every occasion has its own way of putting your stuff. That's what we want to know. So when they invite you, something you wear your pajama. Hey, Stormy, wear roll it.
Okay, don't worry about it.
Okay, Terry, good night. Okay, guys, have a pleasant evening by God's willing. We'll be back here tomorrow. We'll be sitting in. I will say congratulations to the Liberal. I wonder what did he say? Is daughter graduating tomorrow? Liberal, is that the case? Is she graduating tomorrow or what? Okay, yeah, I think that's what he said. But at the same time, now, the home goings of our brother and friend, Mr. Camber Sam G. Brown, will be laid to rest. The 21st of June going to be the week, and 22nd, he's going to be laid to rest right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. Our prayers and thought goes out to him. They are making all necessary arrangements. Liberia Public Radio going to be bringing you live homegoing ceremony. It's a painful one of our own friend and brother, the late Cambridge Sam G. Brown, right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. I also visited a home yesterday of our Comrade Kevin to do it in Taunton, that is a city in Massachusetts, just within our same proximity, maybe 30 minutes drive, 25 to 30 minutes drive. We yet to get the details. I met the wife, the daughter graduated, by the way, today. When he was setting up stuff to celebrate his daughter's graduation, I cooked out, and right after putting those things together, she decided to take a rest. Want to take that rest, and this is where it ends up. He's still taking that rest. May his soul rest in perfect peace. There's no timeline here as to when he will be laid to rest. As soon as we get that information from family, from the widows and family members, we will definitely let you know. But we can now say the late Saint Brown will be laid to rest. The 21st of June going to be the wake, and the 22nd, he will be laid to rest. Until then, folks, we say thank you so much for this beautiful Sunday, for sharing your Sunday with us this morning, this afternoon, this evening, depending on your location. If this is the first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome on LPR, and thank you so much. Don't hesitate, share your comments, your tweets, your suggestions with us. You have the rights on some of the things that we say here. If you disagree with it, you have the right to disagree with it, which is okay as well. And even to the extent you want to disabuse it, that's fine as well. If we can sit down here and talk about people, obviously it is obvious that people can also talk about us. We have what we do understand, talking about a sovereign country, the nations and its leaders, it entails a lot of things. And of course, it would be uncomfortable when people say that. It's the same way. When we come out here to sit and talk to people, we can just put anything any kind of way. Nobody's going to take us serious. Even I don't care how we try to do it. That's what we are saying. Every society, every function has its own way to accommodate people. If I come and sit down here every other day and just wear t-shirts running on my shoulder, but who the hell is this guy? What is he saying? I don't care what I say is that makes sense. Yes, there will be another aspect people will judge that, and not just only to you, because these images goes out in the field and people see it. So we will be having these conversations. I know it will be very uncomfortable to other people. They may see it as not important, but it is, because we always want the best out of our country. That particular picture or whatever Dr. Mali was making reference, I didn't really put eyes on it. I saw it's like a group picture. But I will see how it looks like. But all we want in totality, we want the best out of our country. I want any of my government officials, any ministers, even representatives, I want when they go somewhere, they might be prepared, be what they should be like in terms of dress code, good representations, so that it will pave the way to meet people that they should be meeting. So that's what we are saying. So the idea of Santo because she's a lady and we can't talk about it, no, that's not it. She represents our country. So if there are things that needs to be talked about, we will talk about it and will be done with respect. Until then, folks, have a pleasant evening, and thank you so much for sharing this evening with us. Bye-bye.
You know, my guy get it. Molo Jalo gave Roger. Go away, you. What you say, you will not your way. See, I gave Roger. Jodolu. See, I didn't know that you know what to do.